Good morning, Oracles. Well, happy Proxy Day. Today we are expecting to get the proxy from Tesla to let us know when the annual meeting is going to be and hopefully give us more information on what we can expect for a split. So we talked about that a lot yesterday. We'll wait to see what the information is today. But I want to go into a tweet that Elon had made over the weekend, and it was really basic investing tips. And quite honestly, a lot of it is what we discuss on here all the time. So I'll break it down for you piece by piece and give a little insight that I have for this as well, and go back to a lot of things that we talk about on here. So to have Elon kind of reiterate that in his own words, because obviously he's watching this channel and he knows what we're talking about here. But really, it just goes down to basic fundamental facts of investing. So what he's saying is nothing new. These are basics that have been known forever. And if you can follow these basics, you will be successful with your investing. And so the first thing Elon states in his tweet is, buy stock in several companies that have products and services that you believe in. So even Elon's saying diversify your portfolio if you feel that diversification is needed. I know many of you guys are all in on Tesla. So really that's what it comes down to. And my insights on that are very much of, if you are using the product or you are using the service yourself and you like that product or service, why not invest in that company? If you like what they are doing and you believe in that company, you might as well invest. Obviously, that is why many of us on here are investing in Tesla. We believe in the company, we like the product, we like the services that they offer, although their customer service does need some assistance, as many people have said. But the company itself is a very forward-looking company, pushing in a direction that many of us believe is going to be the future, and we support that in the future. This is why we are investing in that. And of course he has SpaceX, which is private right now, but people who believe in that are also investing privately when they can in that. And I know many of us on here would definitely jump on board of SpaceX if that was a publicly traded company, which may be coming in the future. And we might even get Starlink coming before that. And again, this is another service that I believe that many of us would jump on board with. I know for me, like I said, I've got Apple as I had it as a stock, I sold it, but I do like their products and services. That's what I use. I have an iPhone, I've got my MacBook Air, I've got my iPad. I am in that ecosystem for Apple and I like it, I do. And so that's why I invested in the company. Enphase is another one. I've heard very good things about the products and services that they have, so I invested in it. I am a Beachbody coach. That is why I am invested in the company of Beachbody. And there are some other stocks that I have that I got into for other reasons. And I'm guilty of getting into them for reasons that I wasn't a huge fan of the product because I didn't do enough research on it. I was still new when I got into them. And now I'm starting to do a little bit better research on these companies before I get into them and utilizing that same strategy of, are these companies and the services that they are providing something that I believe in? And the next thing he says is, only sell that stock if you feel that their products and services are trending worse. Now this goes to the fundamentals that we talk about all the time. And so I know we have had many discussions about Elon and, how he behaves in bringing the stock price down. And there's, differing views of this, whereas I prefer when he does things like this, brings the stock price down for us to buy cheaper, while others of you out there, don't appreciate that because you want to see the stock higher. And there's nothing wrong. Opinions you can have as you feel, and you feel the way you do. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But that's why I always go back to, what are the fundamentals of the company? And the fundamentals of the company for Tesla are definitely not getting worse. They are getting better and better over time, and every single day they improve. Every quarter we see that they are improving production, they are improving their numbers, they're improving their margins, the products are getting better, they're giving a better product assortment. We have the Cybertruck and the Semi and the Roadster all coming next year. We have the Robotaxi coming in 2024. We have FSD that Elon says should be up and running by the end of the year. Yes, we'll wait and see, but it is still coming and it is making progress. Everything that Tesla is working on is improving. So if you're thinking about selling the stock because Elon does something that brings the stock price down and you don't trust him because the stock price might come down, that is your own choice and there's nothing wrong with that. But ask yourself, are you selling because of Elon's antics, or are you selling because the fundamentals of the company are doing worse? Now, obviously, these are Elon's opinions, but I do share the same view as him in this manner, whereas the company is still doing well. They are still projected to do at least 50% growth every year for the foreseeable future. So why would I sell out of a company whose stock price could be suppressed to give me better buying prices by the CEO, who has admitted in the past that he would love to see better opportunities for retail investors to get in, when the fundamentals of the company are still doing great? To me, that's why I don't sell. That's why I prepared myself to buy whenever an unknown opportunity like this presents itself. That's my opinions, and everybody, and I know we've had our many discussions, so I totally understand everyone's view on this. But when it comes to the selling of the stock, I look at the fundamentals. Yes, the stock price is all over the place, but so are all the stocks. The macro environment is all over the place right now. Tesla's stock price is just exaggerated a little bit more than everybody else's, but it always has been. That's how it is as a Tesla investor. You're gonna have to deal with this wild roller coaster ride. But if you can take that wild ride out of your vision and look at the fundamentals, you will see how much this stock is trending up in the long run, and you'll be fine. And then he also says, don't panic when the market does. And this is something that we go all the way back to when we were first watching Elon sell his shares. Don't panic. You gotta take your emotions out of it, because big money will take your money every single time you put your emotions in. That is how they make money. Big money does not give a crap about you whatsoever. What they care about is manipulating your emotions so that you will either buy when you've got FOMO or you'll sell when you get panicked. And they will take advantage of both of those opportunities because they do the opposite of what your emotions are feeling. So don't panic. Don't panic when the market does. When the market panicked when Elon was selling back in November and December, we were all buying. When the market was panicking last week, we were all buying. And somebody in the comments yesterday, I think it was Yoke Monkey, had mentioned how Elon sold $8.5 billion worth of Tesla stock, but the valuation of the company came down $125 billion. That is massive algorithm and panic selling in the market. That is when we talk about overreactions. Those overreactions are the prime times to buy. Can it come down further afterwards? Absolutely. But when you see the market overreact the way it did, that is the time that you want to buy, because all those people who are freaking out and selling their stock are the ones who are going to be losing out. When you buy in at those times, that's when you can win. Sure, maybe this week we get a black swan event that crashes the entire market. But again, going back to fundamentals, that has nothing to do with the fundamentals of the company itself. That has to do with the macro environment, and sure, it's going to affect the stock price. But the fundamentals of the company are still strong, so that means that it will rebound faster than other companies who do not have the same strong fundamentals. And then the last piece that he said is really what hit home for me. He says, this will serve you well in the long term. This is why a lot of people who get their emotions involved in the stock see these short-term swings and freak out and they panic like the market does. But if you look down the road, whatever your vision is for the company and holding the stock, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years out, keep that vision in mind. Where do you see the stock in the future at those points where you plan on holding it until? If you see it going in that direction and you see the fundamentals still growing, if you follow those 3 principles, you will do very well when you get to that long-term goal that you are looking at. That's why we always say, if you're looking long-term and we see these great buying opportunities, take advantage of them, because they're going to make your long-term progress even better in the future. And now going back to November and December, This is something that actually worked out very well on this channel, as many of you had reached out to me and thanked me for just how I was portraying the entire situation to everyone to help you guys keep your emotions out of all of the selling that was going on. And I truly appreciate that feedback. That was very important to me, so thank you guys for that. And so I know many of you are newer to the channel and you weren't watching back when we were going through that at the time. So let me know now. I know many of you are newer investors as well. Let me know on your levels, maybe a scale of 1 to 10, where are you when it comes to emotional trading? I know when I started, I was definitely a 9 or a 10. I was panicking, I was freaking out. I think it's a natural thing when you get into the stock market, especially when you don't have a lot of money to invest, because you're like, I don't have a lot of money, and now all of a sudden I'm losing my money. And it's sort of like, you're learning. It's almost like a payment that you're making to learn your way. You're like paying for this school by losing money in the stock market. But if you stick around and you learn, you will find these things out. So let me know in the comments where you guys are at with an emotional scale when it comes to investing, because that'll definitely help. If you can get that scale closer to, an under 5 range, that is really going to help you guys in your long-term investment strategies, especially when it comes to Tesla, because we know Tesla can swing like wild all over the place. It has 12% swings down, 10% swings up. It can be crazy wild ride. So keeping your emotions in check is very important when you are a Tesla investor. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.